Kathy Sorrow, and this is a mixed level yoga practice for strength. Come to a comfortable seat. Start to close your eyes and just start to focus on your breath. Yoga is a strength-building practice. It excels at using your body weight to make you stronger and increase muscle tone. Unlike weight training regimes that isolate movements, yoga is a whole body workout. It builds strength. You can use it in your everyday activities. As you focus on your breath, with every inhale, grow just a little bit taller. And with every exhale, release your shoulders and wrap your shoulder blades down your back. Breathing in, listening to the waves. Breathing out, let it go. And as you inhale, lengthen that inhalation just a little bit longer. And try to match your exhalation for just as long, maybe even longer. Do the best you can. Breathing in, grow tall. Breathing out, relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale and exhale. Continuing with these slow, deep breaths. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice this morning, now's the time. Maybe you'd like to tell yourself, I am strong, I am resilient, I am whole. I am strong, I am resilient, I am whole. I am strong, I am resilient, I am whole. Let's take a few more rounds of breath. On your next inhale, arms rise, moving into side bends. Left hand reaches the floor, right arm reaches up and over. Maybe your gaze is down at your left hand, maybe it's to your right elbow. Inhale, back to center, arms rise, really lift out of your hips. Ground down into your sit bones and side bend the opposite direction. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, left hand behind you. Right hand comes to left knee. Grow tall. And when you exhale, twist more deeply. Inhale, back to center. Take that twist on the opposite side. Exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, reach out of the hips. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, reach, gazes to the sky. Exhale, twist. Stay here. Inhale, grow tall, shoulders are soft. Exhale, twist a little more deeply. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, twist. Grow tall. And twist more deeply. Inhale, come back to center and cross your legs in the opposite direction. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the right elbow and grab the right elbow with your left hand, side bend to the right. Use that core, pull that belly in. Inhale, back to center, reach out of your hips with your hand. Bend into that left elbow, side bend. Feeling that deeper stretch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist, moving a little more quickly. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bending the elbow, side bend. Stay here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bending that elbow, side bend to the right. Holding in that core, using those core muscles. Strengthening and stretching is a powerful combination. Inhale, reach back to center. Exhale, clasp your hands behind you. Press your knuckles into the floor. Broaden across your collarbones. Gazes to the sky if that's comfortable, but no pinching in the back of the neck. Inhale, reach. And exhale, clasp your hands in front of you, palms reaching for me, and round your back. Hug your belly into your spine, chin drops to the chest. Shoulders are soft. Inhale, come back to center. Find your way to a tabletop shape. Take a few cat-cows here, maybe some hip sways. Whatever your body needs this morning, go ahead and take that here. If you're wanting to move through cat-cow, take an inhale, crown of the head lifts, tailbone lifts, let your belly go. Your joints are stacked. Your shoulders are above your wrists. Your hips are above your knees. And exhale, press the mat away from you. All 5 fingers, all 10 fingers are spread round the back. Hug your belly into your spine. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the tailbone to your cow shape. And exhale to cat. And adding any movements that feel good in your spine. Now coming to a flat back, making sure your joints are stacked. Neck is in line with the spine. You're hugging your belly in. Inhale, reach your left arm forward and extend your right leg back. Your right foot is flexed. If this feels like a lot, you can lower that right leg, tucking the toes, but still engaging that your entire right leg. We're going to balance here and hold. And breathe. And hold. And breathe. Take an inhale here, really extend away from your center, keeping that core engaged, bending that right knee. Your right knee is still lifted. And reach around with your left hand as if you're going to grab your left foot, but stay here. This is an active twist. We're working hard here. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, extend left arm and right leg. And exhale, come back to tabletop. And let's sway those hips. Maybe do a cat-cow. Release that work. Coming back to that center tabletop, reach your right arm forward, left leg back. Your toes are either tucked, your left leg is engaged, whether it's grounded down or lifted, and balance. Core is engaged. Feeling our muscles wake up this morning, knowing how strong we are, how resilient we are. Feel your strength. And breathe. Neck is in line with the spine. Bending into that left knee, reach around with your right hand as if you're going to grab that right foot and feel your twist. This is active. Make sure your left knee is lifted. Good job. On your next inhale, extend your right arm long, your left leg back. Really press into that left heel. And exhale, come down. And release that in your spine. Take any movements that feel good. Moving into our gate pose. Setting up for leg lift. So take your left leg off to the side, pressing into that left foot, keeping your hips square, pressing into both hands. Fingers are spread. On an inhale, lift that right leg and pulse. If this feels good, stay here. If it feels like a little bit much, you can bend your right knee. And pulse, and lift, and breathe. Let's take it 3 more pulses. 3, 2, 1. Place your left foot down on the ground. Walk your hands back. Inhale, arms rise. Side bend to the left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take your right hand to the floor. Left arm reaches up and over. And if this feels good, stay here. If you'd like a little more challenge, lift that left knee. Straighten your left leg and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Place that left knee back on the floor. Inhale, reach. And exhale, side bend. Inhale, arms rise, lift out of the hips. Exhale, find your way back to tabletop. And take a cat-cow. Release that work. Preparing for the opposite side. Coming back to center. Take your right leg off to the side, pressing down into the mat. Your joints are stacked, your hips are as square as possible. On your next inhale, lift that left leg. Maybe your right leg. Your right leg is straight or it's bent. Whatever feels best to you, strengthening that outer glute muscle that so often gets ignored. Keep breathing and pulsing, and breathe and pulse. 3 more times. 3, 2, 1. Place that right foot back down on the ground. Walk your hands back. Inhale, arms rise. Gate pose on the opposite side with a side plank variation. Side bend to the right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, left hand finds the floor. Right arm reaches up and over. Side plank variation. If this feels good, stay here. If you'd like a little more challenge, lift that left knee, and straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Placing that left knee back down on the ground. Inhale into your right side body. Arms rise. Side bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tabletop shape. Tuck onto your toes. Lift your knees to hover. Cross your right knee over the left, and then come back down to the floor. Tops of the feet are grounded down, and walk your hands back and sit down on your left heel if this feels comfortable. Stretching your outer right hip. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward. Tuck onto those left toes, hover your knees, and unwind. Let's cross your left knee over your right. Lower those knees and sit back into your right heel. Or actually in between your heels probably will feel better, if that's accessible to you. And just notice maybe one side feels different than the other. On your next inhale, shift forward, tuck onto those right toes, hover your knees while they're still crossed, uncross your legs, find that hovering tabletop. And breathe. Taking just a few shoulder taps, and then we'll start to move into some of our sequences. Right hand taps left shoulder, keeping your body as still as possible. Left hand taps right shoulder. Keeping this up, hugging in your core. Lots of work here, full body work here. Keeping your hips as square as possible. One more time on each side, and then we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent in your down dog. Really lift your sit bones high to the sky. See if you can externally rotate your shoulders so the insides of your elbows are pointing more toward me. And maybe you'd like to pedal your feet, straighten your right leg, sink your right heel, bend the left knee. And then switch. Maybe you'd like to stay still in your down dog. Sometimes these movements feel really good. Sometimes being still feels better. Yogi's choice. Coming back to center, come up onto your toes and shift your heels to the right. Sink your heels, feeling that side stretch in your left side. Breathe into your left side, pressing equally into both hands. Inhale, come back up onto your toes really high. And exhale, heels pivot to the left. Breathe into that right side body. On your next inhale, come up onto your toes. This gives our feet a nice stretch. And exhale, sink the heels. Draw your chest closer to your thighs. Hug that belly in. Maybe bring your rib cage just a little closer to your hip bones and really zip up that core. This takes a lot of strength here in our first long down dog. Also getting the benefit of a bit of an inversion. Bend into your knees, look forward, and step up to the top of your mat. Find your forward fold. Your knees are generously bent. Let your head and neck hang. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands to shins, crown of the head draws forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, side bend to the right. Maybe right hand grabs left wrist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, reach. Exhale to your forward fold. Knees can be bent. Maybe they're a little more straight. Maybe they're deeply bent. Whatever feels best to you. Crown of the head is hanging, kind of reaching toward the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Long, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's roll your shoulders back. Wrap the shoulder blades onto your back. And this is how I want us to be in forward fold. Exhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step back into a high plank pose. And this will be our vinyasa for today. Instead of our normal sun salutation, we're making a few adjustments to add some challenge or some different types of strength. Lower onto your knees, untuck the toes, hugging your elbows to your sides as closely as you can. Let's take 3 tricep push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower down to your belly. Inhale to a baby cobra. Exhale, press yourself through tabletop to downward facing dog. So it will be plank, knees down or full plank, 3 tricep push-ups, a back bend of your choice. Maybe we choose locust, maybe we choose up dog, and then downward facing dog. And breathe here. Bend into the knees, gaze forward, find your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, right foot steps all the way to the back of the mat. Sink those hips. Lower your right knee. Make sure your left knee is tracking over your left ankle. Arms rise, low crescent. Exhale, sweep your arms back and just hinge at that left hip and hover. Use your core. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, sweep back and hover. hugging inner thighs to the midline. Use your balance. Inhale and exhale. Plant your hands down, straighten that left leg, lift the left toes, sit back into the right hip, and take your half splits to release that work. Fold. On your next inhale, bend into that left knee, lift the right knee, step back to your plank. Moving through your vinyasa. 3 push-ups. Lower to your belly. Find your back bend. Tuck onto the toes, downward facing dog. And breathe. 3 rounds of breath here. Breathing through your nose. On your next inhale, right leg rises. Bend into the knee, stack the hips. Right hip over left, pressing equally into both hands. Inhale, square off the hips, extend that right leg to your 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, right knee to nose. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose. Building strength. Inhale, one more time, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pat the spine as you draw the knee toward the nose, gazes between the hands, and gently step forward between the hands, finding your low lunge on the opposite side. Your right knee is tracking over your right ankle. Lower onto that left knee. Arms rise to a low crescent lunge. Take another inhale here. Exhale, hinging forward, sweeping the arms back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Make this active, not just in your core, but in your shoulders, your back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hugging everything to the midline here. Plant your hands down to frame that right foot. Straighten that right leg. Lift those right toes towards your chest and fold. Let it go. And breathe. Inhale, bending into that right knee. Hands frame that right foot. Lift that left knee. Bring your hands forward about 6 inches and lift your right leg to standing splits. Your hips are square. Both legs are completely engaged. Pretend there's a wall behind your left heel and press into that. And lower your left leg. Finding that forward fold. Maybe you grab your elbows and just ragdoll. Maybe give yourself a little sway. Feels so good. Release your hands, and then let's just ragdoll up. So bend your knees quite generously here. So much so that your whole upper body is almost limp. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, come to stand in your mountain pose. So your feet are hip distance apart. Your joints are stacked. Palms are facing towards me. Your shoulder blades are nice and flat to your back. Your shoulders are soft, and your head is just floating on top of your spine. So take your thumbs and put them at the bottom of your rib cage, and then your pinkies at the top of your hip bones. And without tucking your pelvis under, draw your rib cage and your hip bones together just a little bit with that energetic lock. You feel that engagement in your core by drawing, hugging those ribs in and pulling that lower belly tight. And that will harness our energy through our center to carry us through this practice. And remember, go ahead and drop the hands. I am strong. I am resilient. I am whole. On your next inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, sit back into your chair. Seeing your toes beyond your knees, pressing into all four corners of the feet. Lift your toes. Make sure you're grounding down evenly into those feet. And lower as much as you can. Hug the belly in, chest is lifted. Twist to the right. Inhale back to center, come to stand. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. And exhale, twist to the left. One more time, back to center. Come to stand. Take an inhale here. Exhale, sit back into chair. Twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Come to stand. Exhale, chair. Twist to the left, using our core. Inhale to center, come to stand, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, left foot steps all the way to the back of the mat. Heel toe that right foot just a bit wider. Inhale, arms rise, high crescent. Breathe. Cactus the arms, broaden across your collarbones, and lower your left knee for a lunge, kissing the mat with your left knee, and rise. And dip, and rise, and dip, and rise. One more time, dip, and rise. Bring your hands to your hips. Pivot that back heel in and down at about a 45-degree angle. Straighten your right knee. Hips are as square to the front of the mat as possible. Hinging at the hip, fold forward for your pyramid pose. Releasing that work. Give yourself a moment to breathe. Inhale, bend into that left knee. Come up onto those, right knee. Come up onto those left toes. Arms rise to high crescent. Float the hands back down to frame that right foot. Step back to high plank pose. Move through your vinyasa. 3 push-ups. To a back bend. And we'll all meet in down dog. 3 rounds of breath here. You're doing great. Using our strength, waking up all those muscles. On your next inhale, left leg rises. Bend that left knee, stack the hips, hug that left heel towards the left glute. Inhale, square off the hips, extend that left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Think cat shape with your thoracic spine. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose. Hug that knee nice and tight towards your chest, towards your face, and gently step it through to the top of the mat. Help it along if you need to. Arms rise, high crescent. Cactus the arms, right knee bends, kisses the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. 2 more times. Inhale in your high lunge. Exhale, float the hands down to frame your left foot. Pivot that left heel in and down. Oops, let's come back to warrior one. I didn't bring our hands to our hips, but no big deal. Bring your hands to your hips, finding yourself in a warrior one, lower body. Straighten that left knee. Bend into that left knee actually, and heel toe your left foot a little wider. Straighten that left knee, hinging at that left hip. Fold forward, finding your pyramid. Letting go and releasing that last bit of activity. Let your head and neck hang. And breathe. Come up, bending into that left knee. Come up onto the right toes. And walk your hands in front of your left foot like 6 inches. Pressing into the left foot, lift that right leg to a standing split. Hips are square. You're folding toward your left leg. Your right pinky toes are pointing down toward the mat, and you're pressing into your right heel. One more breath round here. And exhale, come back. Lower your right foot, finding your forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Heel toe your feet about as wide as the mat. Your feet are parallel. Taking 3 as deep as you can go squats. Sit your hips back, hugging your belly in. See if you can take your hips lower than your knees. Inhale, come to stand, squeeze your glutes. Maybe you bring your arms out in front of you for balance. Squat, lower your hips below your knees if you can. If not, go as low as you like. Squeeze your glutes on the way up. One more time, squat. Now take your toes out at about a 45-degree angle. Hands to heart center. Lower your hips. Finding your Malasana squat. Your elbows are on the insides of your thighs. You're pressing your elbows into your inner thighs and your inner thighs into your elbows, creating some energetic resistance. Place your right fingertips in front of your right toes and sweep your left arm high. Really opening up across your chest. Hug your belly in. Keep those knees open. Keep that left knee open wide, but your right knee is pressing into your right elbow. That's a little brain tease here. Come back to center. Hands to heart center. Left fingertips come down in front of the left toes. Right arm sweeps high. Pressing into that left elbow. Left elbow pressing into that left inner thigh. Open up that right knee, open up that right arm. Come back to center. Place your hands down beneath your shoulders and straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet back to hip distance apart. And ragdoll up. One more sequence. You feel good, Janice? Mm-hmm. Close your eyes. Maybe just take a moment of gratitude for our strong, resilient, whole bodies, minds, and spirits. Noticing maybe a little difference in energy when we began this practice. On your next inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back to your plank pose, and move through your vinyasa. 1, 2, 3. Maybe this time, clasp your hands behind your hips for your back bend to a half locust. Press your pelvis into the mat and lift your heart. Your neck is in line with your spine. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And breathe. On your next inhale, right leg rises. Bend into that right knee, open up and stack the hips. Inhale back to your three-legged dog, square your hips, knee to right elbow, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, extend that right leg long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale to three-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Pivot onto that left heel and cartwheel your hands open to find warrior two. Making sure your right heel is in line with your left heel. Bending deeply into that right knee, pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. Shoulders are soft, shoulders are square above your hips. Finding your strength in your warrior two. Find softness in your face. Flipping that right palm, reach your right arm up and back. Your left hand finds your left leg. Keep that right knee deeply bent. Exhale, right forearm finds the right thigh. Left arm sweeps up and over, or maybe to the sky. Whatever feels best to you. Make sure you're not dumping down into that right forearm. Make sure you can lift that right forearm. Your core holding you up. Inhale, reverse. Straighten your right knee to reverse triangle. Bending into that right knee, side angle. And if this feels good to you, stay here. But if you'd like to give yourself a little more challenge, extend your right leg long. Inhale to your reverse, straighten that right knee, find your reverse triangle. Maybe your left arm finds your left leg, maybe both arms are extended. Bend into that right knee, side angle with challenge. Inhale, reverse triangle, 2 more times. Exhale, bend into the knee, side angle with extension. Sweep those arms back, straighten that right knee. Bending into that right knee, find your warrior 2 and settle. Take a breath. Cartwheel your hands down to frame that right foot. Step back to your plank. Find your vinyasa. Maybe you take a child's pose. Maybe you go straight to downward facing dog. Maybe you move through your vinyasa. And take your rest, take your breath. Breathing into all those places that might need a little extra attention. On your next inhale, left leg rises. Bend into that left knee, hug the left heel close, stack the hips. Inhale, back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot through. Pivot that right heel in and down. Find your warrior 2. And give yourself a moment to really land in your warrior 2. Keep breathing. Left leg is engaged. Right leg is engaged. Left knee is open. Tracking over your second and third toe. Flip that left palm. Reverse your warrior. Take an inhale here. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over or to the sky. Side angle. Make sure you can lift that left forearm off your left thigh. Make sure that core is engaged. You're not dumping down. Inhale, reverse. Straighten that left knee to a reverse triangle. Exhale, bend into that left knee. Find your side angle. And if you would like to add a bit more challenge, to extend both arms. Sweep both arms back. Straighten that left knee to reverse triangle. Bend into that left knee. Side angle variation. Be mindful. Sweep the arms back. Use your core. Hug that belly in. Straighten that left knee. Bend into the left knee. Side angle. Inhale. Sweep the arms back. Straighten that left knee. Bend into that left knee. Find your warrior 2. And just breathe and settle. Breathe through the nose. there. Crown of the head grows tall. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your feet. Step back to plank pose and to into downward facing dog. And walk your hands back to your feet. And let's ragdoll up. One more little forward fold sequence and then we can cool it down. So find yourself in a wide leg shape, maybe 3 or 4 feet apart. Your feet are parallel. Take your hands to your hips and then hinge at the hips, keeping a flat back, keeping your neck in line with the spine, pressing into all 4 corners of your feet. Find yourself in a forward fold. Hands come to the ground. Drawing the crown of the head towards the floor, using the palms of your hands maybe as a little encouragement. Now bring your hands to your hips and lift halfway. Remember we talked about zipping up that core, the rib cage, drawing just a little closer to the tops of the hip bones. Maybe you'd like to extend your arms long. Maybe you'd like to keep them at your hips. Give yourself permission to explore both shapes. Bend into the right knee for Skandasana, side lunge. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale back to center, moving through at your own pace. Maybe you'd like to drop your hands and get a little lower in your Skandasana. Maybe you'd like to keep your hands on your hips. Maybe you'd like to stay high and kind of float in your Skandasana. Whatever feels best to you in your body. One more time on each side. Keep that core engaged. Keep the crown of the head reaching forward. Neck is in line with the spine. You look beautiful. Come back to center. Place your hands down beneath your shoulders. Walk your hands forward and sink your chest towards your inner thighs. And embracing this down dog, upper body with wide leg, lower body. Enjoying this inversion, this reverse blood flow. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Bend into your knees slightly. Hands to the hips. On an inhale, come to stand. And bring your heels in. Your feet are at about a 45-degree angle, preparing for some goddess work. So cactus your arms. Your elbows are not below your shoulders. And sink your hips. Your tailbone is reaching toward the floor. Your knees are open wide. And bring your elbows together here. Raise your elbows a bit. Squeeze your forearms together. And we're gonna tick-tock from side to side. So take your arms and your whole torso to the left. Back to center and to the right. Inhaling as we move through center and exhaling as we side bend. Staying deeply, as deep as possible in our goddess. Maybe you'd like to pulse as you shift from side to side. Working our obliques. This feels so good to me. One more time on each side. Come back to center. Sink as low as possible. Clasp your hands behind you. Draw your knuckles toward the floor. Straighten your legs. Parallel your feet. Lift your heart. Open across your collarbones. And hinge at the hips. And fold. Enjoying that shoulder stretch. If this is too much, you can take your hands and put them in your imaginary back pockets. Or you can allow that clasp to fall up and over. Whatever feels best to you. Release the hands, your hands find your hips. Bend into your knees just a bit. Inhale, come to stand. Heel toe your feet back to center. And find yourself seated on the floor. Whew, we incorporated a lot of core work into our sequence today, so we're gonna move directly into cool down. Great work, everybody. And let's slowly lower with our knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Come down to our backs. And just shimmy our shoulder blades nice and close, or like nice and flat to the mat. And press our elbows into the mat. And our fingertips, palms facing forward, fingertips towards the sky. Bring your heels nice and close to your sit bones. Your chin is, your face is facing the sky. On your next inhale, press your lower back into the mat and lift your hips for a bridge pose. Press into your heels, press into your elbows, shoulders, and back of the head. Feeling all that length in your front body. And lower. And allow your spine to find its natural shape. And breathe. We'll take this bridge 2 more times. Press your lower back into the mat, your elbows, your shoulders, the back of the head. Lift your hips. Press those heels into the mat. Your chest is trying to reach your chin. Your chin is not trying to reach your chest. And lower. Allow your spine to neutralize and take a breath. Inhale, lower back presses into the mat. Lift the hips, press whatever body part is touching the ground. Press into that. Lift your chest a little higher. And exhale, lower. Hug your knees to your chest, rock side to side. Extend your left leg long. Bring your nose to your knee. Hug both knees in, make yourself small. Extend your left leg long, left knee hugging in. Hug both knees in. Lower your shoulders and your head and goal post your arms. Goal post your arms. And the backs of your hands, your forearms, your triceps, your shoulders are pressing into the mat as you allow your knees to fall over to the right for a bit of a supine twist. Your gaze is to the left. And breathe. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Hug your nose to knees. Lower your shoulders. Lower your head. Goalpost your arms. Pressing into the backs of your arms. Allow your knees to fall over to the left. Gaze is to the right. Enjoying this supine twist. Inhale, knees back to center. Hug your knees to hug your knees wide of your chest. Reaching between your knees. If this feels good, stay here. There's something about having just about your entire spine like unfolding onto the ground. Maybe even try to unwind your tailbone, so even that is rounding down. That feels so good, or can feel so good. Or if you'd prefer, reach inside of your inner thighs and grab the outer edges of your feet, the soles of your feet facing the sky. Find your happy baby and take a little rock side to side. Whatever feels best to you. And extend your legs long, your arms up over your head for a final full body stretch. So inhale here, reach your arms away from you, your legs away from you. Point your toes, make yourself as long as possible. Hug every muscle to every bone. Inhale and exhale. Float your hand down by your side. Take your heels just a little wider. Shimmy those shoulder blades nice and flat to the back of the mat. Palms facing up. Take up as much space as possible for your Shavasana. Closing down your eyes. And remember, I am strong. I am resilient. I am whole. There is nowhere to go and nothing to do. Just breathe. Bring some movements back to your fingers and your toes. And as you come back into the room, roll over onto your right side, hugging your knees to your chest, using your right arm as a pillow. Yoga is a strength-building practice. It excels at using your body weight to make you stronger and increase muscle tone. Unlike weight training regimes that isolate movements, yoga is a whole body workout. It builds strength. Now go out and use it in your everyday activities. And when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable cross-legged seat, palms together, thumbs pressing into your heart, chins bowed. Thank you so much for sharing in this practice with me this morning. It is an honor to be your teacher. Open up, let go, and shine bright. Namaste.